Welcome back, ISV International chess players, coaches, trainers, administrators, everybody who's involved in ISV chess, guys. And welcome back to the special playlist, Chennai, India coverage of the Olympiad 2022, the 44th Olympiad held in southern India. And guys, here's the game that we were talking about earlier in the playlist in one of our videos, right? We discussed, it's your host and operator, Colin Heim, guys, by the way. So we have a game now that I found online, and it was the game that Connor, our board one player, against the San Marino of Europe. This was the game played on board one a few days ago, 2 days ago now. And Connor had the white pieces in this game on board one, and his opponent, whose name is Danilo Volpinari. And Danilo Volpinari is actually a pretty famous, well-known, regarded strong master. He's had his FIDE master norm complete since the 90s. He was born in 1969. And his score against this Reti opening, knight f3, d5, is half and half. And his average opponent rating was 2,300. So he hadn't played a Reti opening. Luckily, I think Connor gave him the Reti opening. Maybe he knew that this would throw him out of his preparation, but the majority of games in Danilo's database where he scores highest are in Sicilian defenses. And in this game, Connor decided to give him the Reti, like we mentioned, guys, just a moment ago. And this game was an absolute barn burner. This has to be so far after day 6. Or round 6, rather, day 6, round 6. Probably the strongest result for ISV Chess International. This was a 96-move thriller. Yeah, 90. Let's scroll down and look at the notes here. 95. Okay, so we got quite a surprise here. We're going to try to get through the moves, through the opening and the middle game, and then go through the moves kind of quickly at the end because it's just a matter of technique. Guys, in this game, we have a special Olympiad 2022 game to show with you guys. Hi, guys. It's Colin if you just joined us. And we're going to show how Connor demonstrates on the world scene how to checkmate with a knight and a bishop against a king. Okay? So this requires a lot of technique, guys and girls. It's not like mating with just a rook. The bishop and the knight is sufficient mating material. However, it does take a little magic to do if you do not know how to trap the king with those pieces. So let's go ahead and move forward now, guys. Danilo in his prime was rated 2,200. That was when he reached his FIDE master norm. Connor, I think, is still unrated. It doesn't show that he has a rating on chess results. Anyways, never mind ratings, guys. Let's just look at this absolute insane match. And let's give some commentary and study what these guys were doing here. Normally, guys, it's me 100% of the time showing my games and presenting them to you guys so that we can improve on our chess online and over the board. Today, we have the Olympiad 2022 special, 44th, held in Chennai, and our strongest team players so far of the tournament, Connor Eichelmann. In German, it's Eichelmann, but I think for the sake of American English, it's Eckelmann. We'll go with Eckelmann for now. Sorry if I butchered your name there, Connor, but we're going to go over your game because you actually had an outstanding performance, and everybody needs to learn how to mate with a bishop and a knight after a very choppy middle game. Okay, so knight f3, d5, g3, bishop g4. Guys, we have the Reti opening, bishop g4. I'm not quite sure what the name of that continuation is, but let's see. Okay, bishop to g2, defending, knight to c6, short castles, continuing development, and e5. Well, is e5 the best move in the position? Well, it's a move, so e5 was played. d3, queen to d7, and here comes e4. d4 played by Danilo, and a4. Okay, so I like the structure so far from white. I like a4 as well, played by Connor. I think Connor has a really decent position. It's just a matter of getting that queen side now developed. f6, let's see what the engine says about f6. Okay, f6 is good in this position, so f6 was probably best, or one of the best. A little more accurate here. Maybe he wanted to throw off his opponent. It was knight from b to d2, but okay, knight to a3. He wants to cause some problems, some havoc. g3 is a good move, actually. Bishop to g2 is nice. h5 now. So in this position, guys, black is, storming the king side with h5. And White just continues play. Queen to e1. I like queen to e1 as well. Queen to e1 is a strong move. Queen b1, queen e1 are both good. He just wants to keep defense over that d1 and h4 diagonal. So bishop e7. Bishop e7 actually was a mistake here, guys. So we're doing a little analytics right now, trying to find out what's strong and what's best or what's not. So don't move the bishop here. The strongest move in the position is probably just to get that knight developed somewhere, or maybe push a pawn. Wow, I don't know what the strongest move in this position is. Maybe just play h4, h5, h4. Okay, but bishop e7 was definitely a no-no. So let's continue, guys. b4, h4, pawn storm on the king side from black, the FIDE master, Danilo from San Marino. And bishop to h3. b5 attacking the horse, knight a5, c captures on d4, bishop g2, king g2, knight b3. And I love this here, guys. After knight to b3, I mean, hats off to Connor for finding this. I mean, just ignoring, right, the attack on the a1 rook. Instead, Connor says, no, d captures on e5 is correct. And Danilo did not capture here on a1. Instead, he played the move h captures on g3. And after f captures on g3 and queen to h3 check, king to f2. Maybe in this position, guys, you would much rather have the black pieces. I know for sure if I had the black pieces in this position after that sequence of move overs, I would much rather just take here on a1 and cruise to this end game with, you know, 2 rooks and, you know, an undeveloped horse and a bishop on e7. And I'm lacking pawns here in the center for sure. White has pawns, you know, the center completely dominated. But knight a1, I would very much consider myself here sitting pretty. Queen captures on a1, so let's do a little evaluation of the material now, guys. Black in this game is up in exchange for 2, 4, 6, 7 pawns, and black has 2 pawns, okay? So for the exchange, white has 2 pawns and a very strong center, right? Long castles turns out to be a mistake, guys. The engine hates long castles. It was better to play a bishop move. No, it wasn't. It was better to just probably move the knight or move the queen, perhaps. But long castles was no good. King to e2, best move by Connor. Queen to e6, knight c4, and g4. Okay, so attacking our pony here on f3, our ISV pony. Knight to h4. F takes on e5, queen e5, knight e5, and rook to h7, now covering the bishop. Okay, so now let's evaluate the position now as we move towards the endgame. 2, 4 pawns for black, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pawns for white, and we are still down the exchange, but Connor has a very strong pawn center, and black has absolutely no pawns in the center, guys, and white still has a rook, so everything is groovy now, and, you know, despite looking like white was pretty much almost defeated here, after knight a1, it turns out that white's center is much stronger, and Connor knew this. So, guys, Connor is demonstrating that he is a very mature chess player, and he does not care too much about material. It's more about this pawns in the center and the positioning, and we got to give our hats off to that, guys. So, yes, after rook h7, we continue with now knight takes on g4, bishop h4, gh4, rook h4, and h3. Danilo says, well, I will gladly just capture here on h3. Connor says, well, that's fine. I have a tactic. And he spots the tactic with bishop to g5. And after moving the rook, now getting the rook up to f7. And guys, I want you to spot the tactic here after Danilo here, the FIDE master from San Marino on board 1, played rook to g3. Guys, I advise you to not look at the notation. Please find the best move for white in this position. Guys, we're about almost 10 minutes in here. We're going to make it about a 15-minute vid. It might go a little longer than that because we have so much material to cover. And we got to show Connor's world-class demonstration of how to mate with a knight and a bishop. Beautiful. Guys, find the tactic here for white. Find the best move for white in this position. Be a chess player. Do a little bit of thinking. Temporary sacrifice for a pawn, but also winning a pawn, guys, is beautiful. Yes, if you found rook captures on c7 check, that is correct. After king captures, well, oops, bishop f4 check. And we see king to b6 captures with the rook. Excellent, Connor. And now in this position, what do we see? 2 center pass pawns here for white. And black is in trouble for sure. We also have 2 pawns there on the king side, which may or may not get gobbled up here after king a5, king a3, king e3, king takes a4. Yes, excuse me, guys. d4, trying to get all the words out. King b5, d5, such an exciting match. So a5, king d4, a4, bishop d6, rook a8, bishop a3, rook c8, d6 now pushing. And this is just beautiful. White is in complete control and cruising. And it turns out that a stronger pawn center was better. D takes c5 was actually absolutely masterclass by Connor in this game, guys, allowing knight captures on a1. And this is just an absolute beauty and a gem of a world-class game by our leading player on ISV in this 44th Olympiad and this marvelous time that we have to go over these games. Thank you guys all so much for participating and getting something out of this ISV chess. Our students, everyone who's involved. I stress the importance of this, guys, so much because I know how important it is based off of things that I've experienced in the past in my short couple years here at ISV as your operator. Knight e7 and king e4, knight c8, knight f6, king c4, and d7. Guys, okay, so this is absolutely crushing for white now. White is going to be up 2 minor pieces for no material. Knight to b6, e6, and let's show why. Knight must capture on d7, e takes on d7, rook takes on d7, knight takes on d7. Okay, so let's just show again why that was a forced line here. After knight to b6 and e6, knight must capture here or else we're going to get forward with this pawn, right? I got to use the knight and drag it just to show you guys. I don't have a mouse. I'm using my fingers. So up there, right, going up, right, e6 is masterclass winning, okay? Proving in this game that, yes, as we mentioned earlier, guys, if you just joined us to the board here, yeah, pawns in the center mean more than a knight capture of a rook. And after long castles, black just gets devastated here. E captures on d7, rook takes d7. You do have to take in this position. If you end up going for, you know, let's just say I want to defend this pawn or whatever the case, well, a bishop e7 is crushing, guys. There's no way to defend the queening pawn. And Danilo knew this. He's a very experienced FIDE master. He knew this. You have to give up the rook. And yes, now you have 2 pawns. And white is +4 in this position. And totally winning if you know how to mate with the bishop and the knight. So now we're at the exciting moment of this Olympiad special, guys. Congratulations if you made it this far to move 47 after a3, king e3, and king b2. These pawns are going down. These 2 pawns are going down. Bishop to e5 check. Yes, king a2, knight c5, and b6 attacking that horse. Where was I? Okay, that's the end game there. Okay, king d3. Now we're back on track, guys. Okay, so throwing a check here. King b1, knight c5, b6, dropping back, king b3, b5. Let's go through these moves now quickly. Let's get to over 15 minutes here in this nice lecture, guys. King b4, a2, king a3, king c2, king takes a2, and now here we have reached the position, guys, king to d3. Let's show how Connor demonstrates for us, again, excitingly and enthusiastically, how to mate with a knight and a bishop. I don't think I've ever mated with a knight and a bishop, and I've played thousands of online games, and I've had opportunities like this, and I think in the past, before I was a little less experienced, I think I would draw this game, because I maybe don't know how to do this. Guys, bishop to d4 after king b2, king d3, king c1, king c4, okay, everything's protected. King's going to take a walk to b4, knight to d2, now moving a minor piece, king c3. And guys, we want to try to, you know, trap that king and get him in a corner somewhere, right? Whatever it takes at this point. King c4, chasing that black king. Okay, where's that black king going? Here we go, and we're moving away back to the king side corner. Okay, so after bishop to e5, guys, the move order went like this. King to d5, king to f4, knight to d2, king to f5 again, dancing with the king, bishop to e5, king to g4, and Connor says, I have you exactly where I want you, sir. Bishop to d6, king to g4, king f6, king h3, king f5, king g2, bishop c5, king g3, king g5, king h3, and now we're getting ready to trap somewhere. If it's not at the bottom here on the white king side, it's going to be on the black king side, guys, and that's exactly what we see after knight e4, king g2, and we are going places. King h2, king g3, up the board, king h3, yep, bishop g1, knight e4, king h3 saying, I don't want to go, but there's a check on g5. Now king has to move up the board, the black king that is. The black king is in trouble, h5. Bishop c5 is a masterclass move because, well, we'll see here just shortly. King g6, bishop e7, and king h5. Now after knight f7, there is no moving back. You can't go backwards here at this point because the bishop covers that square. Again, masterclass from Connor. King to g6 and knight e5 check. King h5, king f5, king h6, king g4, king h7, bishop f8, king g8, bishop h6, and Connor can smile in the next couple minutes here. After king g5, guys, it's over. The mate is coming. King h8, king g6, king g8, and here comes knight to c6. Keep that knight on that c6 square in this position, guys, because that's getting cornered. Check. Only move. King to g8, and on move 95, knight e7, checkmate, and game. Finishing 1.5 to 2.5 against San Marino ISV. This was by far our performance of the match. I've checked out some of the other games, and nothing so far compares to this game, although we have some other good results for some other players. This was an absolute masterclass. Connor, I'm just going to go ahead and clap my hands for you now. That was just absolutely amazing, guys, and let this have us carry momentum into the future, into future rounds. We played Kuwait today, and that is all from myself today. I'm completely exhausted. I'm going to go have a veggie burger and relax a little while. Guys, take care. Good luck with your chess online and over the board. We are still halfway through the Olympiad 2022 in Chennai, India. Let's go, guys, and let's keep getting more results. Good luck with everybody's chess online and over the board. Take care, guys, and we'll get some more updates here tomorrow with some more games. Bye, guys. Take care. Signing off.